Please give it up for Andrew Barnett! Yeah, give it up for Shad Wicker, ladies and gentlemen. He's done a great job, hasn't he? Yes, this is fun. So as Shad said, my name is Andrew Barnett. Some people call me Barney. He, him, by the way. Fucking, that was a nervous laugh, wasn't it? Oh, fucking, where's he going with this? No, I've only just started doing that, because I always kind of just assumed that people would look at me, see everything that's fucking going on here, and be like, fucking, that's a he, him, right? But then I realised my pronouns are usually used when I'm not there, right? So I thought I'm going to do some eavesdropping on my mates, find out what my pronouns actually are. Yeah, it turns out all this time my pronouns have been that cunt and this cunt. So, yeah, I'm just trying to swing it back, hey? Yeah, I don't know what you're laughing at, mate. I saw you mispronoun me when I came out, didn't you? He's looking at me like, this cunt better be funny. He better be funny, thank you, mate. This is good. We're back into everything again. We get the internationals back at the festival this year. We've got proper travel going on. I realised that we're properly travelling a couple of months ago. I was at a family reunion and I saw something that you only see when people are properly travelling. One of my younger cousins has just got back from his European gap year, right? And he did something so Australian. He did this. I was watching him talk to my auntie and he goes, "Oh, the croissants in Paris." I was like, motherfucker, you grew up in Yagoona, settle down, right? Because we love that as Aussies, don't we? Love just short trip bullshit accent. That's our thing. Not every culture does that, guys. Like, because you think about like just the Japanese visitors we get here in Sydney, right? Do you reckon any Japanese visitors come here, spend a bit of time, loved it, obviously, right, and then just gone back to Tokyo and just been like, "Arigato, dickheads." Nah, konnichiwa. Like, it's not a thing other cultures do. That's us, man. It's good. I got kids. My oldest boy's 14 now, which is blowing my mind. I don't feel like I'm ready for a 14-year-old, right? He's got to that age. He's asking me questions now that I don't know the answer to, which I've got to be honest, he's done for a long time, but now he's old enough to know, eh? That is... Right, he asked me this question the other day, just without notice. He goes, "Dad, how do I know you're real?" Yeah, I was like, "Mate, don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. Dad's still Jenny from the block, right?" The fucking... He didn't get the reference. He's 14, eh? He goes, "Oh, I don't think that's what I'm talking about, Dad. What I'm talking about is how do I know you exist? Like, how do I know you aren't a figment of my imagination?" And I was like, holy shit, I've got to search his room for pot. Yeah, 'cause those thoughts don't come out of the blue, eh? They come out of the green. And... But I don't know how to prove that to him, right? I'm not that good a philosopher. I don't know how to prove I exist, right? I still don't know if I do, right? But I remember something my old man told me. He said, sometimes with kids, when they ask a question you don't know the answer to, you got to think like a politician, mate, right? Reframe it, change the question, right? So I thought, okay, Andrew, genius, I'll do that, right? So this is what I said. I said, mate, the real question you've got to ask yourself isn't, how do you know I'm not a figment of your imagination? I said, the real question you've got to ask yourself is, why don't you have a better imagination? Fucking, you know what? This is the best he could come up with. Like, a middle-aged comedian with a dad bod and high cholesterol. Like, what was he thinking? You know what I mean? Because he could have imagined anyone. He could have imagined Chris Hemsworth. Now, that's a guy whose kids know how to imagine a dad. Holy shit! You know what? Abs, bicep. Fuck, I would have loved that. Would have been so... My wife would have loved that. Holy shit, you know what I mean? But that makes sense that he wanted to imagine a comedian, because he does. He loves comedy, right? So I'm like, yeah, it makes sense he wants to imagine a comedian. But I'm like, mate, if you're going to imagine a comedian, can you at least imagine, like, a more successful comedian? Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, a guy who's selling out the Enmore, not fucking one of 7 acts on this thing. You know, like, don't get me wrong, happy to be here, really enjoying the show, but fuck, this wasn't the dream, eh? No, all I'm saying is Carl Barron doesn't hand out flyers after the show. I will be. So, do you know what I mean? I'm trying to be a good dad. I'm trying to be a good example for my kids, right? They hit that age now where you got to, like, it all matters, you know? Like, it all matters, everything you do. Like, because I've always said to them, you can always talk to me, mate. Talk to me about whatever you need to talk about, right? What no one tells you is for the first 10 years or so of their life, fuck, that doesn't matter, eh? That doesn't. Because, no, for the first 10 years, whatever they want to talk about, that's 98% Minecraft and Lego, right? And the 2% that isn't Minecraft and Lego is so awkward and poorly timed. You kind of wish it was Minecraft or Lego. You know what I mean? Like, it's like this. My youngest bloke gave me this question. It's about 4.5. He used me this question without notice one day. He goes, "Dad, why does my doodle get real big and stick straight out in the mornings?" I know, he's a bit angry about it too, which I thought was weird. I was just like, "Oh, look, mate, it's not that big." Secondly, why don't you let Dad pay for the groceries? We can chat about that in the car, eh? The timing on these fucking kids, man, it's insane. It's insane. I mean, I'm trying to be a good example of a modern man for them too. I realise I've got to be more in touch with my emotions, right? Because I realise I don't cry. I don't cry enough. I don't let my emotions out. Like, this is the realisation I had the other day, is I cannot tell you, like, I cannot remember the last time I cried, but I can tell you the last 3 times I spewed. Right? Yeah, that's not a healthy way to live your life, eh? You know what I mean? That is, because it's the approach that's different, right? Because seriously, like, if I like have too many and I start to feel sick, I'm not above going into the bathroom and making myself throw up so I can get to sleep, right? If I start to feel feelings, it's like, nah, fucker, you're going down there, eh? They can come out as yelling at the kids for weird reasons, you know what I mean? It's like, why am I the only one in this house who knows how to turn a bloody light off? This is what it sounds like when dads cry. That's... Serious. Next time you hear a dad say something like, "Close the door behind you, you weren't born in a bloody tent," just fucking give him a hug. He's working through some shit, all right? So, man, I'm trying to be more like my wife. My wife's very good, very good. She lets it out. Like, my wife will have a cry. She'll have a good cry, right? I don't cry enough to rank them, right? She fucking... She does. She loves it, right? She'll have a good cry. She'll cry watching TV. Does anyone here cry watching TV? Yeah? Yeah, what gets you going? Disney. Good. Nice. I like it, right? My wife, I think, takes it too far sometimes, right? A couple of weeks ago, she come downstairs and I could see she'd been crying, like giving it a red-hot go, right? Yeah, and my first thought was, "Oh, did I do that?" Turns out nothing to do with me, right? She'd just been watching TV. And I'm like, "Okay, Andrew, this is a learning opportunity. You can learn from this woman. She's more evolved than you. Ask her what it was, maybe." Because I'm thinking maybe she's watching an emotional movie, right? Maybe I can watch it, see if it stirs something in me. I'll fucking feel something for once, you know what I mean? Right, so I said to her, what were you watching? She goes, "Oh, it's a bit embarrassing." And I was like, "Hey, I'm your husband. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's not like I'm ever going to, you know, talk about it on stage in front of strangers, you know?" I said, "What was it?" She goes, "Oh, Undercover Boss." I was like, "Are you serious?" She goes, "Well, Gogglebox, but they were watching Undercover Boss." That's a little too far. Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Andrew Barnett. Thanks for having me. Good night.